I hate to say I told you so, but I kinda told you so. I'll get into that in a second. So what we're going to be doing today is kind of going through the giant chasm and catching Kyurem, of course. That's what we're going to be doing, and then after that we're going to be heading to the Challenger's Cave. For those of you who are going to be paying more attention to the actual gameplay. But we have a lot to talk about. A friend of mine, what I usually do when I wake up is I usually check my YouTube feed as well as my Facebook and my Twitter and stuff like that, just to see if anything is going on. So when I woke up and checked YouTube, there was a video up by my friend Vexcus4666. He is mostly a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber. However, he does dabble in Pokemon a bit. And so apparently this is not confirmed yet, at least not to my knowledge. If it was at E3 and you guys saw it, please leave a comment in the comment section below telling me that this is actually a thing from E3 or something, because I really do want to have confirmation on this. But there was apparently a poster that was leaked online or whatever. Someone posted it somewhere. I don't know where it originated from. However, Cordero, aka Vexcus4666, had the image and he decided to make a video on it. And apparently it's a poster that reveals a bunch of megas, including the starters and of course the primal Groudon and Kyogre. Now, that's not the only thing that was revealed, of course. The only megas here that were kind of listed were only Generation 3, so there's still possibles for other generation Pokemon as well. However, again, this poster only shows off Generation 3. So let me just go off this list and then we'll kind of go into the image that I had posted in the description of my last video. If you feel like it, you're more than welcome to pause this video, go check out the last episode. It's in the description. Just check that out because you'll be very interested in the image that I'm going to have in this description, which is the one of the new poster. So the megas that were listed off on this poster, or this alleged poster I should say, Ludicolo, Shiftry, Sableye, who has already been confirmed, Sharpedo, Camerupt, Flygon, Zangoose, Seviper, Salamence, Metagross, Latios, and Latios, which we already have confirmation on because guess what? People have hacked them into their game. So, knowing this, I have the old image in the last episode up on my screen right now. Going off of just the Generation 3 Pokemon, we know now that Sceptile, Blaziken, and Swampert are confirmed. We already have Gardevoir. Sableye has been confirmed. We already have Mawile. We already have Aggron. Zangoose is on this list. Tropius is not on the list, or it hasn't been revealed at all, so it's still something that we don't know about yet. Absol we currently already have, and Salamence and Metagross are both on this list. That's almost all of the Generation 3 Pokemon on the previous image that is, again, in the last episode. This is becoming more and more realistic by the day, almost, at this point. Thanks to E3, of course. We're sitting here, trying to, actually figure out all these megas, and we're kind of just sitting here well, there's an image and almost all of the Generation 3 Pokemon are now confirmed. They're obviously not going to reveal everything, so there's still a chance that Tropius is going to be a thing, as well as there's even a possibility that it got replaced for Seviper. It's possible. I mean, why not straight off of the previous stuff when you have the chance? I mean, there might be coding in X and Y for Tropius, but there's probably going to be no way in hell to get it into the game. Partly because they can update X and Y. You can get the updates through the eShop or whatever, which can probably remove them from the game. They might have actually removed Tropius's coding for the Mega when they released the newer update that everyone should have right now, because I mean, if you don't, then I guess, well, you're not going online ever, and on top of that, you're going to be crashing a lot in Lumiose, so I mean, that's the thing. But, yeah, so a huge, literally everything but like one Pokemon from the previous image, who might have been replaced by Seviper, is basically confirmed Mega. At least if we're going off of the new poster image, it'll solidify almost every Pokemon on that list except for one, which might have been replaced again. So, I mean, there's on top of that, there's other ones that aren't on the list, similarly to, I believe, Ludicolo. I don't think, yeah, Shifter wasn't on that list either. Sharpedo wasn't, Camerupt wasn't, Flygon wasn't. Again, Seviper obviously wasn't, and neither were Latios and Latios. But I mean, that's kind of my point. There's also Megas that we don't have previous or prior knowledge or possible prior knowledge of that are going to be implemented, of course. So I really don't know what to say or think about this exactly. There's a lot that can be done, a lot that can even be said. There's a lot of boosts that these Pokemon can get. Yeah, people, because, you know, whatever. But yeah, anyway, there's a lot of boosts these Pokemon can get. There's a lot of potential move trigger moves that they can get. There is countless, I mean literally a lot of possible abilities that these Pokemon can get. Now, of course, we already know Latios and Latios. We already have them, so whatever. We already know. Shifter, you got a recent announcement. I don't think that they announced its ability. All that we know is that the gem is supposed to do something about like helping it keep itself alive, protecting itself. So in a way, it kind of makes me think of stance change, but I don't know how it's gonna work because it doesn't have like King Shield, and I think that's the only way that stance change works, unless they change the coding for stance change in Omega Sapphire, or Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm kind of getting everything mixed up here, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know how they're planning on doing Sableye here. Maybe it's a brand new ability. I don't know, but it's a thing, I guess. I'm gonna explain Sharpedo and Camerupt right now. Yesterday there was an image posted up on, I think, the Justin Flynn's Facebook like page or group. I think it was a group. There was an image posted of a close-up of Maxie and Archie. Now, for anyone that has played X and Y, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear anything about X and Y because you've never played it before, please mute yourself for about like 20 seconds. If you haven't by now, then oh well, you're going to deal with spoilers. Lysandre had on his ring a Mega Stone, and your main character has the little bracelet thing instead. So Lysandre had it as a sort of an accessory, just like you did, but it was a more exclusive thing that he had. Like, he was the only one that had something like that. The thing is, Maxie and Archie are very similar. Apparently on Maxie, who's the obviously Magma admin, he's shown with glasses, right? Well, someone blew up the image of Maxie, and on the right side of his glasses you can see a circular thing there. That is more than likely a Megastone. As for Archie, he has sort of a necklace, and the necklace has sort of a circular thing as well. So we're talking about possible Megastones for both of them, which makes sense when you think about Sharpedo and Camerupt. I mean, they were always basically their ace Pokemon in Generation 3. Why not give them Megas? Sharpedo is going to be interesting. I don't know how it's going to change its form, of course, like what it's going to look like after it changes. It already has access to Speed Boost, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. Giving it Speed Boost, sit there, Protect, then Mega Evolve. It could have all kinds of really retarded abilities. It could go back to Rough Skin, which would be kind of good. It can go back to, or not go back, but it can get something like Tough Claws. Even though it doesn't have claws, it would still help increase its physical attacks. I don't really know if there's anything else that it can have that would raise its physical attack without, you know, sacrificing other possibilities. I'm not entirely sure, of course. But I mean, like, again, like I said not very long ago, there's a lot of different possibilities for each and every one of these Pokemon, and like off the top of my head, I can't really think of very many. Now, when it comes to Metagross, when it comes to Salamence, and when it comes to Zangoose, there's one ability that comes to my mind above most of the others. Now, I previously had talked about these possible Megas, both in the last episode and an episode a long-ass time ago. Metagross is a very interesting Pokemon. I honestly want to see it get something that helps take care of one of its weaknesses due to the fact that it's now weak to at least Ghost. The fact that Steel doesn't resist, you know, Ghost anymore. So I mean, something like Levitate would be kind of nice. But at the same time, alongside Salamence and Zangoose, I can see Tough Claws being a possibility. Being able to increase their physical contact moves would be pretty stupid. I think Metagross has Meteor. I think Meteor Mash is a physical contact move, which would be kind of stupid. Salamence has things like Dragon Claw. I'm not sure if Outrage actually is considered a physical contact move. I don't have like all of that kind of knowledge in my head. I just know that it is considered a physical move. But if it does like actually cause contact, then that's kind of stupid. There's the fact that Zangoose has things like Crush Claw, Facade, things like that. If you can somehow switch Zangoose in whenever it would be like burned or something, I mean, it would just be stupid. I mean, having you know, the ability to just go, you know, Tough Claws, Facade, and like all that other crap in return, I mean, unbelievable. Just literally an unbelievable thing that these Pokemon could potentially have. Metagross, to a lesser extent, because I mean, like the little pointy shit on his legs or whatever, like his feet, that I guess in a way you can consider them claws. And not to mention that like all of them have some form of like claw move. I think that Salamence has access to something like Metal Claw or whatever. I don't really remember, of course, but I mean, I could be wrong. But I mean, like, why not? It would be kind of an interesting thing to see them have. Something that I also had failed to mention, Salamence is also part flying. Flygon would be interesting to see gain or lose that dragon typing that it has. I just feel like the dragon typing adds a bit of you know, how do I put this? It kind of adds an element to it that, you know, sets it back rather than helps it move forward. I don't even know if a part flying type on it would be all that, like if it was ground flying or whatever instead. I mean, either way it would still be 4 times weak to ice, but I mean, the fact that it's weak to fairy kind of makes it see even less play now. And not to mention giving a potential stab on things like acrobatics or whatever, even though you wouldn't really do that with a Mega anyways. You kind of get what I'm saying though, like give it like Brave Bird as a tutor move or something. There's a lot that you can do. There's so much shit that you can do with these Pokemon. I don't know what they're going to do with Camerupt or Sharpedo per se. Same goes with Shiftry, Ludicolo, and I've already mentioned Sableye, of course. Same with Seviper. Seviper's not going to see any more play than it already does anyways. Zangoose, I'm really hoping sees a lot more play. It's just it's overall one of my favorite Pokemon. When I played through Generation 3 for the first time, it was on my team when I went through the Elite Four for the first time. So I mean, I really do hope that Zangoose actually becomes good. I really don't know what else to say about these Pokemon. We're almost out of time, and I'm trying not to go over time like I did the last time I attempted recording my commentary. But, I mean, like, there's a lot I really want to see be a part of this. I mean, being able to just, like, have some of these old, very underused Pokemon have a possibility of seeing play. I mean, I really would like it. Shiftry's always been cool. Sableye is obviously good in VGC style shit right now. Sharpedo with Protect is stupid with Speed Boost. Salamence is just going to replace Manectric, Intimidate, then Mega Evolve. That's a thing. So I mean, I really don't know how to feel about it. I mean, there's just so much that can happen here. I'm probably going to look into a lot of things that can actually be things for some of these Pokemon. Maybe just some of my favorites, and then we'll cover them in the next episode or something. Whatever, like, whatever you guys want me to do, just leave a comment telling me, like, if you want me to cover all these Pokemon at one point or another or not. I mean, whatever. Anyways, in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing going through the Challenger's Cave, and hopefully we can get done with that and move on to whatever else after this. So, yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.